Let's continue the spider's journey. Bound by Flame was released on May 9, 2014, a bit over a year after Mars Warlogs. It's a fantasy action RPG set in Vertiel, a land being invaded by the Ice Lords, and it's up to the main protag Vulcan to defeat them and save the world. Okay, sounds pretty simple, they couldn't fuck this up that hard. Spiders had experience developing fantasy RPGs before, and they've had a few games under their belt at this point. I'm expecting a Mars Warlogs with a fantasy skin and some improvements overall. I'm not gonna raise my expectations too much. Let's get burned! Fuck my life. The game starts with character creation. You can choose a male or female along with some customization options for your face and hair. I always try to make my characters as anime as possible, but there's only so many options to choose from. You can edit your name as well, but the other characters will still call you Vulcan anyway, so there's not much point to it. The story begins with Mathras, a companion you'll meet later in the game, narrate about the current state of Vertiel. The Deadwalker army, under the commands of the Ice Lords, has invaded the lands and everyone living there are getting their asses mowed. The elves from the woods along with the Red Scribes, a red faction of magicians, are trying to stop the Deadwalkers by conducting a ritual. To protect them during the ritual, they hired the Freeborn Blades, a group of mercenaries. You are Vulcan, one of the mercenaries. So one day, Vulcan was out scouting the area and he finds a Deadwalker soldier. He shittily tries to kill it while having a monologue about how this world is fucked and scouting is boring and not meant for him. This would have been a nice opportunity for a combat tutorial, but it's just a cutscene. Oh well. He goes back to camp to warn the others about the Deadwalkers. You can collect materials from rocks and chests. You can make traps just like Mars Warlogs, but seeing how often I use those, I don't think they're going to be too important. The graphics and character designs remind me of Dragon Age. Not Inquisition, but Origins. It looks okay. I'm not expecting Crisis, especially because it's made by a small team in just a little over a year. The voice acting is decent as well. I mean, it's better than Mars Warlogs, that's for sure. Suddenly, Deadwalker soldiers pop out from every corner and start to poke you with their swords. Here we get our first taste of the new combat system. It still feels a bit janky. It has weight, but it still feels unresponsive at times. I don't know, I guess I just don't like using heavy weapons. You can parry, break guard, you also have a crossbow which is like the nail gun, and traps. Not that kind. You continue to fight your way inside the ruined castle cathedral place to warn the Red Scribes. You can talk to some mercs from your clan along the way and
as long as I can hear them mumbling, everything is okay.
Yo, is that Roy? Good to see you again, buddy. Next, you get another tutorial. There's another weapon you can use, the daggers. Now these I can fuck with. The daggers are fast and way more satisfying to use, and it has a dodge. Unfortunately, I can't Dark Souls around anymore. I kinda miss that. Even though it was clunky in Mars Warlogs, I still had fun with it. Stealth makes a return, and it's turn into a human crab and slowly move towards your enemies. It works, I guess, but not your primary way of killing fools, that's for sure. Just like the previous game, you get 2 skill points and 1 feat point after you level up. You can level up your dagger, sword, or later pyromancy skills. The feats you can obtain are expanded to 3 sections instead of just the 1 like in Mars Warlogs. So there are more options to cater to your playstyle. You fight some dead men, ghosts, and a big boy, and a giant came out of nowhere and tries to grab you. Okay, things are getting good. Eventually you reach the Red Scribes, still conducting the ritual and fight more bad dudes. Near the end of the ritual, it fails and you get possessed by a fire demon. Oh, bound by flame, holy fuck. Now you have fire powers. You can add fire to your sword and shoot fireballs. Pretty much everything a Technomancer can do but with fire, which is great because I like fire more than electricity. Aw shit, it's the Juggernaut. Yeah, take that ass. Yeah! Okay, settle down. I like the combat, it's better than Mars Warlogs. The daggers feel good to use, dodging is responsive. Not a fan of the sword, but everything else is good. The enemies telegraph their attacks just in time for you to dodge, and it feels satisfying to dodge at the last second. With that said, the difficulty depends on how well you can dodge. The enemies hit hard and there are a lot of them. The dodge doesn't move you far, so you're in close quarters almost all the time. Upgrading your weapons and armor can only get you so far. There's no real way to cheese it this time, so pay attention and be patient. Gangbangs are still a thing here, so it emphasizes on multitasking and managing your enemies. Is it bad? Yes. Is it satisfying to fuck up an entire army of enemies using nothing but good timing and attacking? Kinda. Is it worth it? Nah fam. So overall, the combat is an improvement, but the way you have to fight is ass. Oh, and your companions are still useless. After killing the big boy, the Freeborn Blades and the Red Scribes begin to move to Velvanor, a small village in the swamps. Once in a while, the demon inside Vulcan talks shit and tries to get you to let him take full control of your body. That's where the morality system, I guess you could say, comes in. It's not really morality, but like a demon meter. I don't fucking... There are moments where you can choose between getting more powerful fire powers or stay human. I took the human path, but from videos of the demon path, your appearance changes as you progress, and that's cool. Or hot. Funny joke. Morality matters more than it does in Moore's Warlogs, and even though it's simple, it's a step in the right direction. Let me see them beautiful eyes, boy. When you're going from place to place, you can talk to your companion. You can ask about them along with some lore stuff. Again, way better than Mars Warlogs, where you don't get much of anything unless you read the codex or wiki. It's a more natural way of learning the lore. The swamps were a bitch to get through. Those flying bags of shit take so long to kill, and they come in groups. There are also these bugs on 2 legs that goes Wing Chun on your ass when you get close. The enemy variety is definitely not lacking here. Pretty much every area has its own type of enemy, besides the zombie soldierman. At the front gates of Velvanor, you have a man called Ranval, who speaks in third person.
Despite his determination, the knight was in an awkward position. He thanks the mercenary for having assisted him in his task.
Why? That's how it is where he's from. The companions are another improvement. Some of them have a quirk and it makes the dialogue fun to listen to. I won't spoil it here in case someone wants to play it. Even though conversations with companions are good, the overall writing is hit and miss. I feel like there's too much filler in the dialogue. Everyone keeps going on and on about something, and even though they've already made their point, it just takes forever to get to it. Also, almost everyone has this passive-aggressive attitude and sarcasm towards everything. Don't get me wrong, I'm a funny man who jokes about blue balls all the time, but even I couldn't do that every second of my existence. I don't know, maybe it was less prevalent than I thought, but it stuck out like a sore thumb when it happens. Maybe I'm just not a funny man. After you get into Velvanor, you go to the store, explain some shit, the demon tries to fuck you, and you go unconscious. When you wake up, the lead red scribe tells you to not listen to the demon, and now you get to play the game. Walk around the village, talk to people, get side quests, buy some shit, the works. That's the game loop. Once in a while there's a boss. They have their own unique movesets and it's fun to fight the first time. Yes, the first time. They made each of the bosses a reoccurring enemy in the game after you fight them, and it's the worst thing ever. They take so long to kill and it gets really tiring, especially in the final area of the game. It's just a maze where you go around and fight shit in order to fight some other bigger shits, and it's just frustrating. I ended up running past all the enemies, like I just witnessed a deep web red room live stream, or walked in on a weeaboo fucking hentai body pillow as it gets covered in jizz and starts to walk on its own. The romance is very sudden and it doesn't have much build up. There are now quests you can do for your companions, but they don't feel very important at all. I wanted to romance Sybil, the healer girl, so naturally I did her quests. Nothing much happens after that until right before the end of the game. Literally, the romance scene pops out of nowhere after a boss fight. I don't think anyone knows how to pace a story here. And the scene itself...
And I am happy to be with you. I mean, when you're with me. When we're together, sharing this challenge. You know what I mean.
Come on, can't you just admit that you like me?
Why do you always have to complicate everything?
What am I complicating?
Everything. You make me say things that I shouldn't even have to... you're so irritating.
I died alone inside, man. I just want some fuck. Where's the fuck? Down My Flame is an overall improvement from Mars Warlogs. Pretty much everything is better in every way, but it's still a frustrating mess. The combat, while fun, is boggled down by constant barrage of enemies being thrown your way, which can be unfair at times. The writing and story can be weird with its pacing and can feel slow when getting to the point, along with some dumb moments. The game doesn't feel polished at times, with its animations and frame drops, and it's a shame because I did enjoy the game in a weird way, just like with Mars Warlogs. Again, it feels rushed. If only they had more time to work on it. Maybe take 1 or 2 more years to fully realize everything. Yes, there are dumb moments, but there are beautiful ones too, like the final fight against your demon. Yes, you fight your own demon, it was pretty obvious. It was epic, fighting a demon and a giant dragon at the same time along with a beautiful song in the background. That honestly almost made me cry. I wasn't expecting such a thing to exist in this game, but here it is anyway. They're onto something here. Spiders really had the potential to be the next Bioware. And boy do we need another Bioware right now, because what the fuck are they even doing these days? Exactly. Next time, the Technomancer.